Clap it. I thoroughly enjoy my life. I get to talk about politics and tech at the same time with some of the greatest people. In the chat. Clap it up for the people in the chat. Clap it up for the people in the chat. If you're here live, you ain't really understanding this right now. The best fans this side of the Mississippi. It all happens right here. A bunch of strangers. You feel me? How you doing? My name is Hero. This is Coding with Strangers. And I want to talk about something. Y'all didn't know I could sing, did y'all? I used to be in the back of the church singing. But it's an election year, and we're not a political channel. I saw you guys trying to make comments on my political statements and the things that I said. We're not a political channel, okay? We're a wholesome tech family. And we out here giving people quality pumps when it comes to information, injecting quality information about people as it pertains to tech. But herein lies one of the great situations that we find ourselves in. We have a presidential election with what could possibly be seen as the first tech bro in the #2 position in a long time. And as I don't have an anecdotal mindscape of every vice president or presidential candidate that seemed to be a savant with technology, it stands to reason in my mind Barack Obama was probably the most tech literate leader we've ever had in this country, just because of his presence on social media. But to have someone that has the ability or capacity to, dare I say, invest in foresight into future tech venture capital is actually interesting. And while I don't know if this is going to talk as much about his politics, I am interested to know what his social ideology is in the tech world. Is he a member of the break things and move fast? Is he part of the data is king? Or is he in some fold or facet? And we can use this from a two-angle perspective. One, to tell about what's going to happen in the future of those technologies he seems to find interesting. And then two, let's be real. Let's find out where the money's going to go. Right? You can sit here and hate this motherfucker for all you like because he wears a red tie. But you'd be remiss not to go ahead and take a look at his books, because wherever he goes, the money will follow. And the crumbs of a millionaire can make you a thousandaire. And that can help you get us like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying what you're seeing. I greatly appreciate it. Let's take it from the top, shall we? With Trump's VP pick, J.D. Vance, Silicon Valley's conservatives land a tech bro on the ticket. My lovely lady Alexandria Ulmer and Dawn Chilkminsky, July 16, 2024. I've been bringing y'all this stuff straight off the press. Been bringing you guys this straight off the press. You feel me? Y'all gotta appreciate this. Let's get into it. Milwaukee, July 16th. Reuters, Donald Trump's choice of J.D. Vance for running mate raised the hopes of Silicon Valley conservatives on Tuesday that they stand to gain having a fellow tech bro within reach of the White House for the first time. Is tech bro still considered a derogatory term in the most polite way? Like, if someone called you a tech bro on the street, would you be like, hey, watch your goddamn mouth? Are you upset about that? I think I would be upset about that if someone called me a tech bro. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. We have a former tech VC in the White House. Greatest country on earth, baby. Delaney, a partner of billionaire investor. Yeah, what a fame to claim. You're part of billionaire investor Peter Thiel's venture capital firm fund wrote on social media site X. Okay. Author of the bestseller memoir Hillbilly Elegies. What? He wrote that for real? A graduate of Yale Law School and later a venture capitalist in San Francisco, Van has had a rapid ascent for American politics. At 39, he has served but 2 years in the U.S. Senate representing the state of Ohio. Ohio, also known as the Florida of the North, Republican National Convention on Monday formally nominated Trump and Vance as their ticket in the November 5th election to challenge the Democratic President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. Some right-leaning investors began recirculating old tweets of Vance and set their sights on friendlier regulation ranging from artificial intelligence to cryptocurrency. So there's a part of me that really gets nervous when I think I would be okay with being called a tech bro, but to hear that he might have some affiliations with crypto bros, that's a red flag if I've ever seen one. You feel me? That's scary to think about, because there is this underbelly of crypto that people don't really want to talk about or be indulged with, right? They don't really understand the dynamics of that, and the amount of people who have been rug pulled using cryptocurrency, or the amount of ransoms that have gone through the route of crypto, is pretty startling. On the campaign trail, Vance has used his background to serve as a bridge between Trump's association and the wealthy Silicon Valley donors, many of whom have opened their wallets to Trump this election. Republicans comprise a minority of the overwhelming left-leaning San Francisco Bay Area, although conservatives in the tech industry, including Thiel, venture capitalist Mark Ascent, and entrepreneur Elon Musk, have begun to raise their voices more. Man, it's it's like they've assembled the League of Doom in San Fran. And I always said this, like, right, you know, everybody's one side of the same political coin. But to know that Peter Thiel is a major backer of JD Vance and seems to be the love child of JD Vance's career, because he didn't win by the same standards in his second re-election as normally would. Ohio is a proven Republican state, so the fact that he didn't win as convincing is very telling. Also, another fact is that, you know, he's a decade younger than every other person that was on the list. Vivek, what's the dude from Florida, the governor from Florida, and the black guy that's faking a wedding because of Trump. All of these dudes were older generations, had different people that they could have easily grabbed or latched onto. And the fact that Trump picked someone so young makes you think, like, is this sort of like passing of the mantle? Also, what about this Passover makes it so believable? But it's to be determined. We'll see how far we get here. By promise of the technical. They complain about what they view as unnecessary constraints placed on their businesses by progressive politicians and employees. Okay, so now we're getting into the crux of what he wants to do. Vance has ridden that wave, aided by the Thiel, who poured $15 million into Vance's successful U.S. Senate campaign in 2022. I don't think it was successful. He barely won by 3 points in a Republican state, and invested the VC firm Naira that he had founded in 2019. Silicon Valley conservatives say that they see Vance as one of their own, even when they differ on some politics. Despite his background, Vance has said that enlarged tech companies have too much influence and called for Google to be broken up, at odds with conservatives who chafe at government regulation. Yeah, that's counterintuitive. It almost like, and this is the thing that makes it hard to read him, because he has so many, in the course of just 2 years, he's had so many back and forth conversations, from calling Trump Hitler and saying that big tech companies should be broken up, to now saying Trump's the best, and even agreeing with Trump when all other candidates voted against him, saying that he would not have upheld the vote like Mike Pence did by law. He said he wouldn't have done it if Trump had asked him to do it. Is there a picture of Peter Thiel getting pumped by a pig? and Trump has that in a safe or something? Like, what dirt does he have on this guy that made him not only flip like this, but to also go against some of his core principles? Because like Google isn't as much as people say like it's a woke thing or whatever. Google is all about making money, and if there's regulation to be scoffed at and taken down that can help Google make more money, a politician can be paid to do it, right? Dapper saw Vance crypto investment, eventually understand economics of the future to some degree. He said using the term popular in tech circles, Grok is also the name of ChatGPT's challenger from Elon Musk startup XAI. So he's in bed with Elon. Clearly Elon has a reason now to start. Elon, for the first time, came out and publicly acknowledged that he's backing the Republican Party. Surprise. Vance held more than $100,000 in Bitcoins as of 2022, according to a federal disclosure from October 2023. That seems like a low amount. Trump-Vance campaign did not immediately respond to requests for comment on Vance's ties to Silicon Valley, his proposed tech policies, and whatever he still holds in cryptocurrency. When asked whether the Trump-Vance ticket would seek to break up Google, Trump's son advisor Donald Trump Jr., his failed son, who favored Vance for the second job, told Reuters at the conservative convention in Milwaukee, "I'll let them discuss some of those intricacies of that platform, but I like his," speaking about Vance's, "understanding of tech." Donald Trump Jr. doesn't even understand what he understands about tech. Like, that's such a weird statement to make. Vance introduced Donald Trump Jr. to entrepreneur and investor David Sacks and helped to organize a June fundraiser at Sacks' San Francisco mansion that raised $12 million for former President. Sacks thanks Vance in his speech at the event, and according to the sources familiar with it, says that this started with J.D. Vance calling and asking if he could host an event for the President Trump. So that's how he got his foot in the door, which is interesting. So, needless to say, I mean, we're not going to sit here and pretend that his connections aren't going to pay off, and the fact that Peter Thiel, Vance, and a bunch of other companies are on his docket is not cool. It's not beyond reproach. I think the thing that's really concerning is his ties to cryptocurrency. The likelihood that he could be involved or manipulated through cryptocurrency, and just how they can usurp regulation by using cryptocurrency. I think this version of Vance is very much so with the side of companies. Google wants to be able to ransack and push people. Peter Thiel. This is Peter Thiel's love child. He basically raised him. Peter Thiel gave him the capital for his first company, and that company then led to him having connections on the outside, being able to connect himself to other bigger donors. And I think Trump doesn't forgive anybody without reason. And the reason why Trump could easily forgive him for all of his past transgressions is because of a $12 million donation for a fundraiser that started out for him. I think Trump truly loves the idea of someone who he feels he flipped from not liking him to liking him. But then the question then becomes, well, why wasn't, and he also holds grudges because Nikki Haley has already worked within his organization. And dare I say, if Nikki Haley was given a more dangerous position, she would have done way worse than what she did as the UN representative. If she was actually part of the process of making plans and ideas stateside, she might have been more destructive than anybody. So this is a person who has less than 2 years of experience going for the biggest office and the second biggest office in the country. I think it's also pretty telling that Trump didn't go for a more diverse pick here. It's almost as if he's saying we don't need to pick or be able to do anything outside of what we're originally doing. I don't see Google facing any threats from the Trump organization, as the Google has lobbyists in both parties. Like Google's not as politically correct and woke as Google might look. They have money in both parties, and they have senators, governors, representatives on both sides of the aisle who keep their names out of their mouth. In fact, once a year for theatrics, they'll trot them out and they'll let the governors, they'll drill what's his face, Zuck. They'll drill them. They'll talk and say, well, how much money is this and all these, and then nothing comes of those things. Though you literally don't hear anything about it. They will. The Trump administration has already made it clear that they're going to defang the FTC, the SEC, all of these federal governments, organizations that are in charge of keeping consumers safe. They're going to deregulate them massively, and we're going to see an unmitigated level of overreach with personal information, data. I wish I had a sponsor from like a VPN, even though we know that shit doesn't work. So be very careful, be very vigilant. These companies are going to definitely take advantage of the ability to break the law, right? That's what we have to know. That's what we have to accept. But those are just my views on it. I'd greatly appreciate it if you like, share, subscribe. You feeling it? Go ahead, tell me about it. Let me know what y'all think about it in the end. Y'all make sure y'all go register to vote.